Hey board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another unboxing and overview, this time of an expansion to a game we really like. It's Disney's Sorcerers Arena Epic Alliances, this time the Thrills and Chills expansion. Let's get right to that Game Toppers LLC table and take a look and see what's inside. Alright, this is a small box expansion to Epic Alliances. The Disney Sorcerers Arena game is kind of based on an app that I don't really play, but Jared has played it before. And he says, although it's not the same game, it's got some of the same feels from the standpoint of the characters and how they play. Let's see what's inside this Sorcerers Arena Thrills and Chills expansion. I'm curious. Box off. Tight fit here. It is a skirmish game. It says 2 to 4. I've never played it in the 4 format. Jared and I played in the 2 format when we went through all the base characters. All right, so what's inside? So if you had to think about what this game is all about, this is where 2 players will face off in arena, each with 3 characters, or you could play a team of 2 and 2 with 4 players. But we like playing the one-on-one. You get 3 characters, you try to synergize between them, you smash their decks up, and using the decks, it's not a deck builder, this is more of a hand management system where you're going to battle back and forth between the 2. Think Warhammer Underworlds are of course unmatched from Restoration games. That's kind of the style game that we're talking about here, but with Disney characters. Maybe Funkoverse, you know, but this is going to be with Disney characters and these cool acrylic things I'm going to show you in a second. All right. So you can see the app. They actually have an advertisement for the app right here. We've got the rule book. It's an expansion for Disney Sorcerers Arena Epic Alliances. Of course, you have to have the core set to play, which we do have right over here. This one is going to introduce the Horn King, one of my favorite characters. It comes from the Black Cauldron, the series of novels from Lloyd Alexander that I can't even tell you how many times I read them as a kid. Jack Skellington, of course, from Tim Burton's Nightmare, and Mother Gothel, an underrated Disney movie, one that I skipped when it first came out, didn't watch it till years later, and that's from Rapunzel. But it turns out it's actually pretty good with pretty good music. All right, you can play alongside the regular characters or mix and match, and it's going to introduce a couple of new effects that we've got. It also introduces some character tokens, which I'm going to show you in just a second, for the Cauldron Barn that you use with the Horn King. I'm interested to see how that's going to happen, where you've got these tokens out there. You've got a new status effect called Afraid. Well, I thought this was kind of interesting. This is where if someone gets an Afraid, a status effect from one of the other characters, then that character can't end their turn next to one of the opponents. If they do, they're going to take damage. It says here it takes 2 damages if it's adjacent to a rival. This is a nice little overview of all the components that are inside the game. Let's take a look. All right, so we've got some thick cardboard here. You'll remember from our other content that this is the status effect. Oh, no, this is actually Jack Skellington here, yeah. These are the status effects here. These little badge-looking things. We've got Immobilized. And they're very easy to read. They actually attach. And then we've got Afraid. We just talked about that one. That's where you don't want to end up next to each other. We've got the Horn King's Cauldron Barn. You'll remember that from the Black Cauldron itself. And there's another Cauldron Barn right there. We've got, of course, Mother Gothel. Double-sided. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Fit all that in there. Jack Skellington, Mother Gothel, the Cauldron Barn, Stealthy and Flustered. I'm gonna have to read the instruction on these. These are the 3 I'm not that familiar with. I think Stealthy has to do. No, I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I'm assuming it has something to do with being invisible. That's what it sounds like. We've got some more status effects for Afraid, Afraid, and Afraid. Are you afraid? Cauldron Born. And, of course, the Horn King. We've seen the Horn King in the Villainous series. This is not like Villainous. If you're looking at this video thinking, well, what do I need if I already have Villainous? Villainous is not hand management at all. Villainous is all about, this series of realms where you're trying to use the actions on the realms to get you points, to attack your enemy through the fate deck, and really to complete the steps that you need to get to your win condition. This is more about just your old one-on-one battler, just like we used to do in all the video games. So, and that's one of the things I like about it is there's a reason I want to play unmatched. Unmatched is going to be if I've got a bunch of different characters from different time periods. Maybe I want to play Robin Hood versus Bigfoot, or Robin Hood versus King Arthur. Maybe I want to have Medusa versus the detectives. But if I want a themed IP experience and I want to battle a little one-on-one battle, I'm going to go to Disney Sorcerer Arena. The production is done very nice. The artwork is, of course, from, it's all classic Disney stuff. So let's take a look. We've got Mother Gothel here. What a classic, evil villain in that movie. I think it's that ending scene, not the end, quite the end, but when she finally gets to the lights and they've got the music going. I just thought that was a classic Disney scene. I'm gonna have to admit here, I've actually never seen Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Jack Skellington. My two grandbugs, it's one of their favorite movies. I've never actually seen it. I'll have to see that. And this is The Black Cauldron. I'll also tell you, I'm not that big of a fan of The Black Cauldron. I actually found it pretty boring. I don't know how you could take a 5-book series that's just fantastic, that has just captured the imagination of so many, 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 12-year-olds, all throughout the world. Contemporary of, if I remember right, contemporary of Tolkien, wrote a fantastic series, bringing in a lot of Welsh, as I recall, bringing in a lot of Welsh history and mythology, and it's just such a good series. And then you turn it into such a bummer of a movie. But that was during the time at Disney when they were really struggling. So Black Cauldron was over budget and it struggled to find out. It struggled as to what it was going to be. Is it a children's movie? Is it an adult movie? I think it had the same problem that Treasure Planet had later on. So it's just an aside there for you Disney buffs. All right, so here's the deck of cards. These are going to be related to each of the characters. And you'll notice it's going to talk about all the power of the particular card, what it'll do, which set it belongs to. This is the Horn King. Feed the Cauldron. Our hour has arrived. That's hard to say. Our hour has arrived. Insidious Command. Foul Followers. I love the puns here, though. It's nice. All right, so that will be the Horn King. It's small decks because you're mashing them together. And then you've got the Jack Skellington that's going to have, obviously, some Christmas and Halloween art. There we go. Old Saint Nick, but not really. I don't even know what the movie's about. I guess at some point I'm going to have to watch it. I tapped out on Tim Burton after Edward Scissorhands. That's about as far as I've gotten. And then we've got Mother Gothel. Shadow Stiletto. Sinister Schemes. This is kind of unique art because it's not exactly from the movies themselves. I'd love to know who did the art on this. Seems like some stuff they commissioned because it doesn't look like cells from the movies. And then Move in the Shadows. All right, last thing. You will get characters. They come protected, so we'll have to peel off the tape after we finish this. Each one of them comes with a little base, and the base is going to allow you to see what kind of health they have. They come in this kind of protective coating, just to make sure there's no scratching as they come through. But you can see the long Jack Skellington, Mother Gothel here. All right, that's everything you get from Disney Sorcerers Arena, Epic Alliances, the Thrills and Chills expansion. It's 3 more characters with additional powers, more cards. You even get the Cauldron Born for the Horn King. We've got some more exploring to do in this game. It's a fun little skirmish game that you're going to play between two people or in teams of two. It's hand management where you're drawing from a deck of cards that's smashed up between the different characters, trying to synergize those characters so that you can outwit your opponent. It's been a fun one to play, and I'm looking forward to playing these three characters. Until next time, Laissez, le bon temps, rouler.